Hello everyone, Peter Soretta here, and I have been to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and I can tell you, it is incredible. For those of you who don't know, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is the new expansion at Disneyland. It's coming to Hollywood Studios and Walt Disney World later this year. And right now it's in the reservation period, so if you have not got a reservation, if you do not have a hotel room, you have to wait until late June to get in there. But let me tell you about it. This place is not just another theme park land within Disneyland. It's not like Adventureland, it's not like Tomorrowland. This is Batuu. This is you entering the world of Star Wars. This is a place within Star Wars canon. It was mentioned in Solo, A Star Wars Story. There's a bunch of books that let you explore. This is set 25 years after the Battle of Yavin. What that means is it's set between Star Wars The Last Jedi and the upcoming Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. And Batuu has been taken over by the First Order. It is under occupation. The Resistance have set up a base in the forest ruins, and that is our setting for our adventure in the Star Wars galaxy. Before we begin, I want to say that the theming for this entire world is some of the best I've ever seen in the theme park industry. I've been to Pandora. Disney has outdone themselves here. The details, the buildings have blaster marks. Everything feels worn. There's, the flags are, ripped and torn. There's lampposts that are recycled R2-D2 or R2 droid domes. Like, it's just so many fantastic details around every corner, and I feel like it would take you a dozen times to see it all. When you first enter Batuu from the east side, you will see the First Order occupation. You'll see TIE Echelon, a new ship within the Star Wars universe. Huge! You might even see Kylo Ren getting off that ship and choking an Imperial officer. You might even see him on patrol with First Order stormtroopers, trying to get information about this possible Resistance camp somewhere on this planet. And there's also a First Order cargo store where you can buy all types of goods. If you love the bad guys, it's the place to be. You can get anything from a t-shirt that says First Order up until a stormtrooper, a full-size stormtrooper armor, which costs nearly $7,000. So, spend your money wisely, kids. To your left, you'll see the milk stand. This is where you can obtain the blue milk that we saw Luke Skywalker drinking in A New Hope, and also the green milk that we saw Luke Skywalker drinking in The Last Jedi. I tried the blue milk, and I'm sad to report I did not love it. This was supposed to be the butter beer for Disneyland. This tasted like a watered down berry yogurt or something like that. It comes in a very small cup for $8. I think your money could be spent way more wisely throughout this land. When you're going up north, you'll come across on your right Oga's Cantina. And since A New Hope, again, we've all been hoping to one day visit a cantina within the Star Wars universe, and here is where you can do it. As you approach, you'll hear the jams coming out the window, you'll see the line, and boy, that line, in my experience, I had to wait 45 minutes, some people up to 2 hours. Once you get into this cantina, it is a small space. It fits about 200 people. It's where you can get alcohol drinks in Disneyland for the first time ever publicly. And they have all sorts of pre-mixed drinks. They have beers, they have ciders, it all looks incredible. Rex from Star Tours, the old droid that was piloting Star Tours, is now a DJ at this cantina. So you can see DJ Rex pumping up the jams in the corner, and he's playing a 3-hour loop, so you'll probably never hear the same song twice. I do have to warn you, it's a 45 minutes maximum occupancy there. The booths fit about 8 people, so if your group is smaller than that, expect to be grouped with other people, and there's a 2-drink maximum here, so don't expect to get too drunk in Disneyland. The drinks at Oga's Cantina will run you about $15 for a cocktail, $12 for a beer. There's some wine. There's some souvenir options that run up to like 50 or 70 bucks depending on what kind of mug you want. I'll put a link to slashfilm.com where we have a complete list of all of the drinks for you to look at. Next, you'll encounter the Millennium Falcon. And I can tell you, looking at this footage, I know you guys are seeing this footage, it's bigger than you could possibly imagine. Like, I've seen these movies so many times, and the Falcon here, it's just so massive, so huge, it's incredible. And this is the exterior of the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride attraction. The ride itself, you go through this queue, which is basically like a space mechanics bay. It's empty, but there's some cool things to see there. There's a jet engine that just turns on and off. You get to see the Millennium Falcon from various different angles as you approach. But as you get to the end of the queue, you get to go into Hondo's office. This is Hondo Ohnaka. He's a character from Star Wars Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. He's kind of this pirate smuggler guy. And he appears here for the first time in live action as a fully animated animatronic figure. One of the best that Disney Imagineering has ever created. It's just incredible. Him alongside his droid. And past this room, you get to actually board the Millennium Falcon. And this is the coolest part of the experience in my mind. I teared up when I stepped in here to the main hangar. This is the hangar with the seats and the hollow chest. And you get to explore. You basically get a card telling you what your position is, and you're called a few minutes later. So you get to explore, take some photos, and then you get to board the cockpit. And by the way, this is the ride itself. So you are in the Millennium Falcon cockpit. The cockpit looks faithfully recreated, and you play one of 3 different roles. They have 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and 2 engineers. One pilot controls the up and down, one controls the left to right, one gunner controls the left, one controls the right, and the engineers do a variety of things, but basically if the ship gets damaged, they help fix it by pressing buttons that light up. I only have tried the pilot position so far, and I can tell you it was a lot of fun. It feels more like a game than it does a ride. If anything, that's my only complaint. But it feels like something like Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, where you could go on it many times. There's many opportunities to have different seats and to perfect your score, especially if you have a group of 6 that you can experience this with, because this is the ride that you'd all be yelling at each other and having just a fun experience. And right now there's only one scenario, but I'm sure in the future they're going to add more. Let's talk about the marketplace, because this is the biggest plot of land, I think, of this new expansion. This is the place in Black Spire Outpost where it's basically like a bazaar. It's like an international bazaar. Imagineers based it on international bazaars, and here's where you can purchase all the goods within the land, and everything here is based within the Star Wars world. So none of the packaging says Star Wars. All of the stuff is stuff that exists within Star Wars. There is the creature stall. This is the place where you can obtain stuffed animal porgs, rathtars, tauntauns, wampas. There are tons of things in here. Probably the coolest thing in here, in my opinion, is the Kowakian monkey lizard. You can sit on your shoulder and you can puppeteer him, and it's basically like what they did with Pandora with the Banshees. The other coolest thing in here is an animatronic loft cat. If you've seen Star Wars Rebels, you'll want to check this out. I love that it is like this beat up cat toy of a porg, and he's sleeping in there. And next up is Toydarian Toy Maker. This is a place where they sell like handcrafted toys. So imagine like the Stormtrooper doll that Jin had in Rogue One. Imagine like handcrafted stuffed animals based on some of the characters and creatures that you know and love from the Star Wars universe or games. Wooden knickknacks. There's so many stuff. Guys, if you are a Star Wars fan and you go to this land, you're going to spend so much money. I'm worried about my wallet. Across from there is the Black Spire Outfitters, and this is where you can obtain your own Jedi garb or Rey's garb. This is all kind of the Jedi stuff is based on Star Wars Revenge of the Sith type look. And these are fantastic. They run about like $150 to $200. I would honestly be willing to buy one of these, but unfortunately Disneyland does not allow you to dress in these robes around the park. So unlike the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which encourages people to dress in their house outfits that they purchase there, you can't wear them there. So I know they want to prevent people from mistaking people dressed up as people that work for Disney, but I don't see that happening over at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So I think Disney just needs to get on board on this, because they need to embrace how people want to be immersed in this world. And okay, let's talk about the Jewels of Bith. This is probably the least interesting store here. This sells postcards, patches, magnets, all your stuff that you want to say Batuu or Black Spire Outpost. All that stuff is found in there. My favorite place, this is not in the marketplace, my favorite place is Doc Ongar's Den of Antiquities. And this is basically an antique store. This is the collectible store. This store, like, if you are a Star Wars fan, this store is filled with Easter eggs. I would venture to say hundreds, maybe 1,000 Easter eggs. The walls, the second floor, there's some big things, like you can see a life-size stuffed Wampa. There's just masks, there's blasters, there's everything. I mean, I'm showing you B-roll footage now, so hopefully you can get a gist of this. And Doc Ongar is the guy that runs this establishment, and apparently you can negotiate prices. You can haggle prices with him through the people at the Batuu people at the registers. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but here's also where you can buy the holocrons and the kyber crystals. They have so many cool collectibles. They have like busts. They have replicas of the legacy lightsabers. It's just, I'm gonna waste so much money in this place, guys. There is Katsaka's Kettle. This is a place where you can buy an otherworldly popcorn. I think they call it the Outpost Mix, and this is the combination. It's like red and blue, I think, and it's a combination of like a fruity Fruit Loops type flavor and a spicy flavor. I've yet to try this. It sounds amazing. The quick serve place here, which is the grab and go. This is Ronto's Roasters. This is, you'll see it from a distance because you'll see the torture droid from Jabba's palace roasting some alien meats over the fire of a huge pod racing engine. It's just an amazing sight to be seen. So many Easter eggs throughout this land, by the way. And I want to say the Ronto wrap, which is the signature dish here, is incredible. It's my second favorite thing that I ate here. Again, you can find a full menu in the Slash Film write-up. The Resistance Supply is a place that's out in the way out there. It's way out there in the jungle. You have to like make a trek. It's actually, the storytelling of this land is kind of incredible because it's not like it's right next door. It's like literally you need to make a trek out to the other side of Batuu, where the Resistance have set up shop in the ruins. This is where Rise of the Resistance, the next ride that's going to open later this year, which I'm hearing anywhere from August to October for that opening, but it's all rumors right now. We don't know. We just know it's going to happen this year sometime. It's going to happen out there. There is a Resistance Supply. This is a place, it's basically a cart where you can buy all your Resistance gear. And the most ridiculous thing they have here is an MRE, Resistance MRE, ready to eat, a meal ready to eat. And this is, when I saw it, I thought it was really ridiculous. It features like all these like candies and snacks. And I didn't realize until I got home that this is actually a faithful reproduction of the kit that Luke Skywalker used in Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. So that's super cool. Another place you can find a Black Spire Outpost is the Droid Depot. The Droid Depot is a place where you can build your own droid. You can build your own BB unit or R2 unit, and you can customize it for color, you can customize the personality, you can customize everything. And it's like this kind of scrapyard kind of feel where there's conveyor belts and you're putting together your own droid. You can even buy your own life-size prop replica R2-D2 remote controlled, fully customized for $25,000. No discount supply. One of the coolest places in Batuu is Savi's workshop. This is a place where he keeps all the scrap metal, but it's actually secretly a place where he keeps all the pieces from lightsabers. And you have to commit $200 to even enter this place, and you get kind of an experience, a 20-minute experience. I would compare it to what you see with Ollivanders in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And this is where you get to create your own lightsaber blades. Like, you get to actually build it yourself. And there's this cool moment that you're seeing here of when you actually use your lightsaber for the first time. I did not get to do this on my visit. I'm hoping to do that on my next visit to Galaxy's Edge. One of the last things I wanted to talk to you about is Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. This is the sit down, it's a quick serve because you're picking up and sitting down restaurant. It is in a docking bay. It feels like you're in a docking bay. The immersion here, guys, it's just so cool. It looks like a hangar bay. It's spacious. There's like a big cargo thing hanging from the ceiling. The booths are in these shipping containers. The forks that you use are like these space. I'm getting so excited about forks, but they're sporks. They're like these used space sporks. They look, they look sci-fi. I don't know. Okay, anyways, the Kadu ribs were definitely the best thing that I ate within all of Galaxy's Edge, so I highly recommend it. Okay, my final thoughts. If you are a Star Wars fan, this is your wet dream. This is incredible. It's amazing. The kind of merchandise they have in this place is stuff that will appeal to both general audiences, but there's also stuff here that is incredibly only for the most diehard Star Wars fan. You feel like you are in the Star Wars galaxy. It's fun to explore this place. I am so excited to do more of that. The only disappointments I have is probably the blue milk is not great. I don't think I'll ever get again. Maybe I'll try the green milk next time, but I have not met one person that was like, I would get the blue milk again. And the other thing I want to complain about is there isn't any streetmosphere. Like, you know how when you go to Hollywood Boulevard and DCA and they have those characters walking about? That's what Batuu needs. It needs like some alien creatures, some droids. Maybe that's coming. If you go into the Cantina, the Cantina is great, but it's just a bar. There's no alien creatures. There's no locals. It's just the people behind the humans behind the counter working the bar. So I mean, there are cool animatronics throughout this land. I'm not trying to put this down, but I just think that Disney, please, if you're listening, add some citizens of Batuu and beyond the registered jockeys. We need some aliens. We need some droids. We need this to feel more Star Wars. That is honestly my only complaint. Other than that, this place is perfect. I can't wait to return and explore more. I can't wait for you guys to check out Galaxy's Edge and see how all this stuff is much different than seeing it on this video. But if you want to see more footage from Galaxy's Edge, I'm going there tomorrow. So if you want to see some footage, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to Ordinary Adventures, because then you'll get to see some actual real footage, not just this B-roll that Disney provided us of us exploring Galaxy's Edge. Guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and we'll see you next time.